morning. Welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, Khisha, brijon, along with the king of LA sports, Richard Lopez. And if you are craving your daily sports fix, then you have come to the right place. How you doing today?
I am very, very, very good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Nice to see you back on the show again.
Thank you.
You have been missed. I missed you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be back where I belong.
Yeah, that's exactly where you belong.
Okay. Now, we're going to talk some NFL and some NBA. We have a lot to discuss, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off with the game from last night, Monday Night Football, where the 49ers visited the Washington Redskins, and they won.
Yeah, they didn't just visit. They went in there and they took over, and they established themselves once again as NFC threats. You know, they were kind of falling off the wheel or the wagon for a while, but with this game, I think it put them right back in the mix. Kaepernick seemed to be doing his thing, and you know, you want to go ahead? You want to see? Tell me your thoughts on the game first.
I mean, I thought it was a great game for the 49ers. As you said, they dominated the Redskins 27-6. They brings their record to 7-4. Colin Kaepernick was 15 of 24 for 235 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. But we have to talk about the Niners defense.
Oh, man, they showed up and showed out.
They showed up and showed out. The Smith boys showed up and showed out.
They sure did.
Aldon Smith had, 3 sacks, had quarterback hit. Justin had 6 tackles. He had a QB hit. He had a forced fumble. The defense held the Redskins to 190 yards in total yards. What more can you say? The boys are back.
Hey, I'd have to agree. It seems like they kind of everyone. I don't know. The Redskins had the proper formula to beat the Niners, but they didn't have the proper personnel. They had Gore. Gore got shut down. He only had 30 yards rushing, and so the Redskins had a lot of guys in the box, and they don't have the personnel to play man-to-man on the receivers, and you can't play man-to-man with Anquan Boldin.
No,
not at all.
Not at all. He had 2 TDs.
Yes, he did.
Vernon Davis also had a TD, and you know Vernon Davis and Anquan Boldin without Crabtree have been Kaepernick's prime targets. You know, they've scored the majority of the touchdowns for the Niners this season. But knowing that, the Redskins were still not able to shut them down.
It's the Redskins, they had like I said, they had the right formula, but they just didn't have the proper personnel, and they got burned in the passing game. They dared Colin Kaepernick to beat him, and that's exactly what he did.
That's what he did.
He had, 270, he had 3 touchdowns for 235 yards.
235, yes.
15 for 24 in his passing.
First 200-yard game since the first game against the Green Bay when he scored 400-plus yards. So I think this kind of shuts the critics up just a little bit, just for now, at least until they face Seattle.
There's always going to be critics.
Well, but it shows them. You know what? Colin Kaepernick, he may be going through the growing pains of, even though technically he's a third-year QB, this is only his second season.
Yeah.
And actually his first season that he started, every game. So he's just going through his growing pains, but I think he's proven that, I'm a quarterback to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Vernon Davis actually said that Colin Kaepernick is one of the strongest people he's ever met, not just physically, but mentally. They said there's a lot of things. The guy's been through a lot in his life, and you got to be mentally strong to get through some of those things that he went through. And so hey, the guy's a leader, and I don't know what else to say about him. He's kind of hit that second year jitters, but he really hasn't had a full year of football.
Right.
I think 2 games ago would have been considered 16 games.
Yes.
So he's doing his thing. And actually, so go on the other side to talk about RG3 a little bit. There's a lot of things going on with him. People questioning his character. And you hear all this stuff? I know you've been hearing about that.
I have.
They said he said in Shanahan's words, that people were trying to character assassinate him, that he didn't want to show his negative plays in the film and film study. And that, if that's true, I don't understand that.
Well, I think Mike Tirico and John Gruden said it best last night when they said it's easy to be a captain and a leader of your team when everything's good. Your true character comes out when you're not doing so well and everybody's riding your back. So now's the time for RG3 to step up as the captain. They placed that C on your chest for a reason because they have confidence in you and your ability. And now it's time for you to show them why they put that C on your chest. And honestly, he hasn't been doing that lately. Hopefully he'll step it up.
Two things on that. First of all, we can't forget that the kid's I think he's only 22, 23 years old. He's a young man.
He's
and
young.
To be honest, like when I was 22, 23 years old, like I might have been way crazier in front of that camera when they interviewed me. I would have been rude and immature, and so I kind of give him a pass for some of his answers because he still is a young man. You can't, there's supposed to be other veterans and leaders in that locker room that are supposed to build this guy's confidence, not kick him when he's down. So in a way, I don't blame him for that. But at the same time, he is the quarterback. He's getting paid tons of money. He's the face of the franchise. So you got to accept the responsibility, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah, have to take the good with the bad.
And
That's
also,
right.
a Bowman wasn't Navarro Bowman? Navarro Bowman of the Niners actually said, watching RG3 play, that he shouldn't be out there. And it goes back to when I said in the beginning of the season, the knee injury. He does not look the same. He really doesn't. So Bowman said that too, that he shouldn't be out there. He doesn't look the same.
But that goes back to Shanahan and not letting him play in the preseason. He was so worried about that knee and re-injuring that knee that he didn't get any reps. So he never got time to get acclimated with the offense or being back on that knee. So whose fault is it really? Is it RG3's or is it Shanahan?
It's the Shanahanigans. That's what I like to say. They like to say that on TV, Shanahanigans, fantasy football term. But it can also be for a normal term anyway, because they're never consistent with what they do. Never. RG3, they're trying to let him pass all the time. Alfred Morris is a beast. I don't understand why they don't give him the ball that much. He was having a decent game last night. If you let him run the rock, he's going to do his job. He's a pounder and he's an aggressive runner, and they always seem to go away from that game plan. And that makes no sense to me. One week, RG3 will throw for 200-300 yards and everything will look great, and then the next week they'll start running the whole game. There's no consistency whatsoever. And with a young quarterback, you kind of got to show some consistency. You can't just keep switching the game plan because he's a young guy. It might mess with his head mentally, but...
Well, that's why there's reports out the camp that, him and Shanahan are actually bumping hands a little bit. Oh, yeah. So...
There was it wasn't this week's game, but the game before, RG3 was kind of mentioning how the game plan was, everyone knew what was coming. It was kind of easy to guess if you were the defense. And even the defense said, hey, it was easy. We did know what was coming. So...
Well, the Niners kind of proved that. They shut them down. He faced all kind of pressure all night from the Niners defense. So maybe they do know know the Redskins number, and they're capitalizing on it now.
That was probably the Redskins' final chance to stay in the playoff hunt.
No, they're gone. They're they're 3-8. You
never know. The NFC East is up in the air.
They're 3-8. Their dreams are over.
But you never know what they could have finished the season at 9-7 if they would have won and just won out. Numbers would have said that they still a chance. But I'm going to let you talk about the one good piece of news for the 49ers and their offense.
That would be Crabtree is now off the PUP list. And he is expected to play Sunday against the Rams. So I'm excited about that. Crabtree is Collins' go-to receiver when he was there. So, the pieces are coming back for the 49ers. You have Crabtree, you have Manningham now, you have Vernon Davis, you have Anquan Bolden, you have the defense, Navarro Bowman, you have the Smith boys.
Everyone seems to be
healthy. So they're going to make a run. Right now they're sitting at the wild card spot. Because they have that tiebreaker from with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But their true test for me anyway is going to be when the Seahawks come to their home, and
Okay. We will get into that right now, but let's talk about the other game we want to talk about, and then we'll get into our NFC picks.
Okay.
Our NFC and AFC picks for the AFC and NFC championship games.
So we have the Broncos and the Patriots.
Yeah.
That was Sunday's night game. That was a hell of a game.
That was everything. It was hyped up to the extreme, and it lived up to everything.
It did.
In the first half,
All
it was all Broncos, and it was nothing to do with Peyton Manning. It was all Broncos defense.
Yes, three fumbles.
Three fumbles.
3 fumbles by the Patriots.
So the Broncos came out and they were playing. They were all over the place. They were running wild, and they ended up going into halftime up 24-0.
24 points.
And everybody counting them out. But
But history shows.
Yeah.
You've only won, prior to this game, 5 games out of 480 plus if you have a 24-point lead going into halftime. So what the Patriots did was completely amazing.
It sure was.
Completely amazing.
They went off. Julian Edelman, he had 9 receptions, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gronkowski had his usual good game, 7 receptions for 90 yards and a touch. And Brady had 50 pass attempts, but 344 yards and 3 touchdowns.
6 different targets.
6 different targets, yeah.
Targets. That shows you the Patriots, not only are they a balanced team, but Tom Brady has the ability or the capability of making a nobody a somebody. He makes great receivers. It doesn't matter who's around him. Eventually, he's going to make you a star.
Yeah.
As long as you have the hands to catch the ball.
He is. He will do that. Most great quarterbacks can do that. I got to ask you, who do you think is better? If you can take one player for one game playing outside.
Oh my gosh.
Who would you take, Brady or Manning?
Oh my gosh. I really have to pick. Believe it or not, I would probably take Peyton.
Really?
I would take Peyton. He's more of a consistent quarterback. He's more of a clock manager. I would take Peyton. Now, Tom Brady, he's awesome. Probably one of the best quarterbacks of our generation. And he has more rings. The stats don't lie. But as far as if I'm just comparing this year's play, I would have to take Peyton Manning. He's been a little bit more consistent. But at the same time, though, he's had more weapons than Brady as well.
And it goes back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Brady can make anybody a good receiver.
Yeah.
So that goes to my pick. I would choose Tom Brady because the big question was the game outside. Because Peyton, I think, might have the edge in a dome on the inside, but the Super Bowl this year is at Giant Stadium, and that's outside. And cold. Peyton has some problems in cold weather. It's been well documented. He can make the throws, but he throws them sort of like Tebow-esque.
Well, the
balls wobble.
He was really off.
His spiral.
Yeah, and that was showing last night. His passes were a little off. He only completed like half of his passes, which is not Peyton Manning.
No, it's not. But at the same time, a lot of people think that Brady and Belichick have the formula to beat Peyton. They know how to beat him, and whatever it was, it didn't work in the first half. But it worked in the second half.
I would have loved to be a fly on that wall. I wonder what Bill Belichick said. I know he chewed some people out because they came out with fire in the second half. First 5 drives, 4 touchdowns, 1 field goal for the Patriots.
Wow.
Crazy.
And then they ended up winning the game. What was the score here?
34-31 off of a field goal kick in overtime by Gronkowski.
Yeah, and then you gotta love this if you're a Patriots fan, and I'm not, by the way. But if you're a Patriots fan, Wes Welker was receiving the fair catch, and he apparently didn't say it loud enough for the guy to, poison, scatter, whatever you guys want to call it. It didn't work, and the ball bounced right into the guy, the ultimate no-no, and the Patriots were set up for the win right then and there. So believe it or not, Welker and the big controversy in the offseason about how he wanted to resign and then he went to Denver for less money and the Patriots were very upset. Patriots got the final laugh with that.
Yes, they did. He who laughs last laughs best.
It's so true.
Okay,
it is.
So let's move on to our NFC and AFC picks.
Okay.
We're going to talk,
Well, we're in the AFC right now, so let's roll with the AFC.
Okay, so we'll roll with the AFC. Now, for the AFC East, I have New England.
You have New England?
I have New England.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, this is going to shock.
You can agree with me if you want to. It's okay.
No, I'm not agreeing with you on this. This is a long shot, but I just have a belief that defense wins championships. The game managers can win championships. And I know you're not going to like this one.
I already know who you're going to say, but go ahead.
My pick for the AFC, shout outs to my Chiefs fans, Evol's Place and Malcolm Waxy. Kansas City Chiefs are my pick to win the AFC.
I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening only because they got their card pulled when they played the Broncos. They got
au contraire.
They got their card pulled. Okay, you have teams you have quarterbacks who it's their team, i.e. Peyton Manning, i.e. Tom Brady, and then you have the Alex Smiths. That's not Alex Smith's team. That's Casey's defense team. And go ahead.
Can I bring up 2 Super Bowl champions? The 2000 Baltimore Ravens with Trent Dilfer. He's not that great of a quarterback. Brad Johnson, the Buccaneers, 2002. Defense can win championships. I think Alex Smith is actually better than those 2 guys I just named as far as managing the game.
As far as managing the game and quarterback run, he actually is. He really is. And like I said, I don't have anything against Alex Smith. I just didn't like him in a fit for the 49ers. But no, I don't see that happening. But we'll see. No,
but
I don't see it happening.
This is my reasoning, though. The Chiefs' defensive coordinator, Bob Sutton, he was the Jets' defensive coordinator the 2 years they went to the AFC Championship game. After that, he had retired or took a break, and Jets started not doing good at all. And he's like the king. I like to give shout outs to other kings. He's the king of disguising the blitz, the king of like confusing coverages. And that's what I think, because he knows the Broncos are coming back to Arrowhead.
Yeah, I'm like, don't they play them next week?
Yeah, they play them again, and they could possibly see them again in the playoffs. So why show them everything? Like, they played a base defense. They didn't try to do anything exotic.
Because you throw everything at them so you can win. So you let them know.
No, because the Chiefs already know they're not going to run through the season undefeated. Like, let's be real. They know that. So, why not let the Broncos show everything they got, That's just my opinion. Okay. Bob Sutton I have a lot of faith in him.
Okay.
I've some of my Chief fans have turned me on to Bob Sutton, even though I do dislike the Chiefs. Let's not get that. Well, I don't dislike them, but I'm a Raider fan, And believe it or not, the Raiders they would have won the game. They would have been in the playoff hunt. But they lost at the last 10 seconds. That's only the Raiders can do. But yeah, so my pick for the AFC is the Chiefs, and I just think defense can win, and if they happen to win out, every team's gonna have to go through Arrowhead Stadium. Mm-hmm. And that, if I remember, is even louder than Seattle.
They did break the decimal record.
So I think that's my pick right there.
Okay,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Who do you have for the AFC North?
The AFC North?
That's
a good question. It's getting to like a real close, like a close division, but I don't know. I would probably say, I think the Bengals might hold on.
Yeah.
The Bengals will probably hold on to that.
I have them too. They've showed up this year.
Yeah. But they're not consistent.
But they beat teams you were like, no.
And they also lost to teams that you're like, no.
That's true. That is true. The game that they beat the Packers just rings in my head. Yeah. I'm just like, they beat the Packers. Beat the Packers. So I also have the Cincinnati Bengals for the AFC North. For the South, I have the Colts, but I don't know. I'm a little iffy on them.
Who's going to take their spot?
Tennessee's been doing okay.
Tennessee just had the game of their life against the Raiders. Raiders are my team, but that should say it all right there. Tennessee just had the game of their life against the Raiders.
I mean, but you can't count out Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is a good quarterback. He's a good young quarterback.
That's my pick right there is Andrew Luck. I think Andrew Luck he'll take them to the playoffs, but losing Reggie Wayne was devastating.
Yes.
That was huge.
Yes.
They can't. I think the stat is in the first half of these last 4 or 5 games is 90-11 in the first half of games, and the Colts are always playing comeback. You're not going to win in the playoffs. You'll be bounced out even if you get in.
And then the trade with Richardson was just.
Hey.
It was for nothing. He hasn't showed up.
Remember the weird look you gave me when I said Richardson wasn't any good?
I did give you a weird look. But you know what? Hey, I'm a woman, and I know when to say that when I'm wrong. So I apologize, King.
Well,
I was wrong for that.
It's okay. It's okay. I just seen it like it was not. He's nothing special to me. He's an NFL average running back, but there's a lot of hype behind him.
A lot of hype, and he has not lived up to any of it.
No, he has not. The Colts are coming out and saying, hey, we don't regret this and we don't do this. But the fact that they're even asking them that question shows you that
there's a little bit of regret.
Yeah, it's a little bit of. All right, well, let's move on to NFC picks.
NFC picks?
Yeah,
okay.
NFC picks.
This is going to surprise a lot of people. Out of the NFC East, I have Dallas. I know, right? I have the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Romo, Des Bryant. I have them coming out of the NFC East. Does that surprise you?
No, because I'm not gonna get too hard on these Dallas Cowboys, but it just seems all too of a familiar of a situation for them, where they seem like they're rolling.
They always play good through November.
Yeah.
It's just when the playoffs come. So I think they will go to the playoffs.
What about the Eagles?
I don't think that. If their quarterback situation was a little better.
It's already cemented. I seen it this morning. Nick Foles is going to be the starter the rest of the year.
Oh, wow.
It's set, and why not? He's put up great numbers.
He seven touchdowns that one game.
He had 7 touchdowns against a team that were renamed nameless, the Raiders. But he had 7 touchdowns, and he had a monster game a few weeks ago, and he went on against the Packers to have a good game. So I can't count them out.
Okay.
I think they have a chance.
I can respect that.
I'm not even going to count the Giants out of that division yet. They can win out.
You're right, because it's such a weak division.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, it really is. The fact that the Giants still have a chance to get in the playoffs with their record and how they've been playing, that shows you how weak the NFC East really is. But
my question was, who do you have winning the NFC altogether? Who's going to win the NFC Championship game?
Do you want my fan answer my unbiased
I want
answer?
I think they might be the same.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay. Well, let me hear them.
My fan answer would be the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, okay.
My unbiased sports analysis answer would probably be the New Orleans Saints.
Wow, Miss B, I'm so disappointed.
What?
Because I'm unbiased in this situation, and I'm picking the Niners to win the division. I'm picking them to win the NFC Championship game. The Niners, they are getting healthy. Michael Crabtree's coming back. Their defense is playing solid form. Look, they should have beat the Saints.
I agree with all of that.
Wow.
I agree with all of that, but you're forgetting 2 things.
What?
Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham.
What about him?
3. Sean Payton. They
had all those things when the Niners went into New Orleans, and they almost beat them.
Almost, but did not.
True.
Almost doesn't count in this game.
But that call was kind of iffy, and that would have been the game.
It was kind of iffy, but you know what? We should be used to the iffy calls in New Orleans by now. So
all right, Niner fans, where's the camera? The camera 1. Niner fans, I'm not even a Niner fan. I'm picking the Niners to win the NFC, and my co-host is one of the biggest 49er fans I know.
I love the 49ers.
And it sounds like there is some serious doubt.
I love them. It's not doubt. It's just, stats don't lie. And that's just the bottom line. What's it? The numbers don't lie. Shout out.
Yeah, they don't. But at the same time, it's about coming together as a team and unity.
But we have to see how Crabtree and Kaepernick, we have to see how they're going to mesh. It's been a minute.
Oh, it's not going to take long.
It's been a minute, since they played together. So we'll just have to see. And then you have to also think Kaepernick is known for looking at his first read and always going to his first read. And people know that Crabtree is his first choice. So they shut Crabtree down. Okay. Now, he doesn't have... What?
You're forgetting
Anquan Bolton. I know that, but if you think about it,
they're going to concentrate on Bolton.
Look how long it took for him to really start trusting Anquan for the receiver he is. Throw it up and go get it.
True. The trust is there now, and then there's no going back. The trust is there. So they're going to get that double team on, even it doesn't matter who it is, on Crabtree, on Bolden. It's pick your poison. Like one of these guys is going to tear them up. And I have a feeling they'll double team Bolden. And Crabtree, that's how he'll get warmed up. In one-on-one coverage, it'll take a few games. God, how am I preaching to you
you're not preaching
about the Niners?
I hope that you're right. I really do hope that you're right. But I have to be unbiased about this. Just the same way that I'm sure you would not have picked the Raiders to come out of the AFC.
Oh, I would have.
God.
If the Raiders would have won yesterday's game and they would have been seated in the 6th seed, I would have chose them.
Stop it.
Because we don't get paid to be unbiased. We get paid to give our opinion. So that's what it is. So, okay, her pick is the New Orleans Saints, since she's a 49er fan. I'm picking the Niners, but watch out for the Panthers.
Yes.
Watch out for them.
Yes, do not count out the Panthers.
Because the Niners, truth be told, the Saints might not even, I don't think they played the Panthers yet this year. Or they did once, but they're going to play them again, and the Panthers are on a roll.
They are. And won 5 straight.
And I think they might just have what it takes to beat the Saints. They have the same type of team like the Niners. They did beat the Niners, and so I think I don't know. I just believe the Niners will take. They have the most experience. Anquan Bolden came out and said like he sees the same similarities in the locker room as he did in Baltimore with the Ravens. So yeah, Niners are my pick, but the Panthers are a very, 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 very close second.
Okay. Well, then that's the same thing with me. New Orleans is my pick, but the Niners are very, 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 very close.
As long as you have a lot of varies in there, you can get it a little closer.
Okay,
not just one very. You have to say very,
very,
yeah.
right. Okay, so I think we have to take a commercial break.
Yeah, we do.
So we are going to go to commercial, and we will be back right after this.
Why just find out that I married bitch the Cupid sensation?
What?
Yeah.
I can get to the bottom of this one. Hi, welcome to the Takeover. I'm your host, the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, aka the Sports Educator.
Welcome back to the Takeover. Before we go, we want to touch on a few things that happened in the NBA yesterday. Let's start off with D. Rose. Derrick Rose is out for the season yet again. He had a torn meniscus that he suffered in the third quarter of the Bulls game against the Portland Trailblazers on Friday night. He underwent surgery, a successful surgery. However, his season is over.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate situation. I mean, he waited extra time last season to try to make sure it's healthy, but then he ended up getting hurt. And it didn't even look like that bad of a play, like on where he got hurt. But you got to feel sad for the guy, man. It's one of those things where it just sucks because this guy had the potential to go and be the best player in the NBA. But it makes you think, like, is it a mental thing?
Well, some people say he doesn't want to play for Chicago anymore, and this is his way of kind of backing out.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I didn't want to do sports reporting no more, I wouldn't just fall off right here and tear my ACL and have to repair it. But maybe that's true. Maybe he doesn't want to play. So, maybe he will get signed, like, after this he recovers. But the mental thing, to go through that twice and already to be skeptical of the first time it happened, I feel for the guy, man. But at the same time, he's rich, so I can't complain. I wouldn't complain if I was him. Maybe he can go coach high school basketball or something.
Hey, maybe. Now,
maybe.
Let's talk about Kobe Bryant, who got a contract extension for 2 years for $48.5 million, 23.5 first year, 25 second year. Now, a lot of people are saying that Kobe was selfish and he should have took less money and this, that, and third. But let me just put it out there. And by no means am I a Lakers fan. That's on the record. Let the record reflect. However, this was not a negotiation. The Lakers said, Kobe, $48.5 million, 2 years. Kobe said, yes. Would I say, no, offer me less money, please do.
Yeah.
No. So you can't be mad at Kobe for saying yes to that. You want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the owners. You can't be mad at Kobe Bryant.
I chalk that up as another question. I'm not going to say dumb or stupid or any of those things. You guys can say that if you want. But I will say a questionable decision by Jim Buss because, you're offering them all this money, so you're only going to be able to get one marquee. You still have
one
20 to 25 million.
One max out contract.
There's one of them. But at the same time, this guy has brought so much. He is LA. Kobe Bryant is Los Angeles. Let's be real. Sorry, it's not Chris Paul yet. It's not yet, but maybe it could be in the future. But yeah, Kobe Bryant is Los Angeles, and this contract I think was more for what he has done already than opposed to what he can do. And yeah, you're right. Like, who is going to turn that down? If someone offered me 25 million a year and said, hey, you want to turn this down because you can have more more talent next to you, or talent this, talent that, like, I'm signing it.
Right.
Oh, just make me step up my game.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I mean, I think the argument comes from people who say, he's getting older, he's been injury prone for the past couple of years, so why would you pay out that kind of money to someone who's had those ailments? But again,
I'll tell you why, though. Because we're the Lakers and we don't care about luxury tax. Luxury tax is nothing. That's like going to the store. For the Lakers owner, it's like going to the store and paying 30 cents extra for CRV tax.
But now you won't get Carmelo and you won't get LeBron. That's what that contract does. It caps them out.
But
so
we can go after someone like Kevin Love.
You can one max out contract. That's all you can afford now.
Yeah, but hey, no problem, Kobe. Mad love to you. You basketball players only get so much money. So I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Okay.
It does not bother me one bit.
Okay.
Kobe just said yes.
Kobe said yes.
Simple.
He said
No
yes
negotiations
to the check.
needed.
Okay. That is all that we have for you today at the Takeover. Richard, tell the people where you can be reached.
Camera? Where's my camera? Can I get my camera, please? Hi. Okay, Richard Lopez, King of LA Sports. You can find me under the King of LA Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe. It's free. Tons of cool prizes and things like that. And you can find me on Twitter, Rich Lopez, KOLASE. Ms. Bree, why don't you tell them where to find you?
Okay, you can find me on YouTube and LinkedIn at Khisha Brijon. You can also find me at Twitter, at Khisha Brijon. So until next time, may the sports be with you.
And I'm going to leave you with both of my catchphrases, because what good are my phrases if I don't share them with the world? When you live life rich, you'll never be poor. And never, 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 never be afraid to roll the dice.
All right.
Have a blessed day.